Hi folks, this is Karim Raouf from IT Visualizer channel. Today we'll continue our lab, the COVID-19 lab. This is the 6th video. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have been discussing about the concept of group policy central store location and what is its benefit. It is central store or group policy central store location. It is a location, okay, where all of the group policy templates for Windows and other applications that we have been downloading its group policy template files in the previous videos, all of these are stored in one location, and this location will be the default location for all of the servers at Workstation to get their group policy from. So it is a location, all of the group policy templates are stored there, and all of the servers and the workstations will have their group policy. They will read the group policies and apply the group policies from this central store location. Okay, there is a lot of benefits for making a group policy central store location. Please refer to my previous video for more info. The way for making a group policy central store location, simply by copying the folder C Windows policy definitions. We will copy policy definitions folder and put this folder in a shared folder in the Active Directory called sysvol under policies. We will put policy definitions in it. So the policy definitions will be copied from C Windows policy definitions. We will copy the policy definitions and then put it in the folder of, or under the folder of, or under the shared folder sysvol policies, then policy definitions. So this new location, it is called group policy central store location. Okay, and after creating the group policy central store location, we have added the different group policy templates for different applications that we have been downloading in the couple of in the previous videos. Okay, the group policy templates for Firefox, Google Chrome, Classic Shell, all of these will be added to the new group policy location. Okay, and then after that we have installed Powershell 7 version 7. So this is the latest Powershell version of Windows. Okay, and it has an advantage that you can use it side by side with PowerShell 5. So in the Windows Server 2022 data center, the default PowerShell version is PowerShell 5. Okay, and you can download PowerShell 7 from a certain website. Okay, and after downloading and installing PowerShell 7, it will not override PowerShell 5, so you can use both PowerShells, okay, on the same machine. Okay, so because PowerShell 7 it is installed in a separate location or in a different location than the one PowerShell 5 is installed on, and I have shown you all how you can know the PowerShell version from the command or from the PowerShell window or PowerShell command prompt. Okay, we have known this, and then we have created something called the snapshot. Snapshot is something like creating a backup of your virtual machine before beginning any critical process. So for example, if you are going to make something to the Windows operating system or doing a critical process that it may affect the Windows, so it is best practice to take a snapshot. Snapshot is like taking a backup in the physical world. Okay, so we have taken a snapshot and then we have begin creating our organizational units. So we have a lot of organizational units in our Active Directory. We need to create them. There is a lot of organizational units. The PowerShell will help us to create them all in one time or once. For example, if you need to create 50 or 60 organizational units, a PowerShell will help you to create them once instead of creating them one by one. Okay, and then we have successfully created the organizational units using PowerShell script, and we run it in the new PowerShell 7 environment, and then we begin creating the users. So first we created the organizational units, then we begin creating the Active Directory users. We have about 4,000 users, so we need to create them also at once, okay, by using the PowerShell script. So when we begin doing this, we have encountered an error. Okay, the error was that there is a lot of users in the Active Directory, okay, or there are a lot of users that the PowerShell will create. They have the same first name and last name. So for example, if you need to create 100 users, the error was that 50 users, okay, are having the same first name and last name. So when you create an Active Directory user, you need to provide some information, the first name, the last name, the username. So the error was that I have created 50 users, they have the same first name and last name, even though their username is different, okay, but the error because they have the first name and the last name identical. So we have changed the first name and the last name for the users that have this problem, or for the users having the same first name and last name. We have changed them and we have successfully fixed this error. And what I have done, I have retrieved my snapshot. So I have created a snapshot before creating the Active Directory organizational units and Active Directory and creating the Active Directory users. So I have retrieved this snapshot and begin creating the organizational units of the Active Directory again, and then begin creating the users again, okay, because of this error. So I have retrieved back my snapshot and begin creating the users from the beginning. So in this video we'll begin creating again the organizational units and then create the Active Directory users after fixing the error, and see if this error will appear again or not. So let's begin, and we will discuss a couple of concepts. We will apply something called Active Directory login script. We will apply a script. This script will apply to users in our Active Directory domain the first time they log into any machine in the domain. There is certain changes will happen, or certain steps will be applied to the user through this login script when he log in for the first time on any machine in the domain. We will discuss what this login script will do step by step, and where is the location of this Active Directory login script, how it works, okay, and what is the files that this Active Directory login script will use. All of this we'll discuss in this video. So let's begin. Here, this is our domain controller. So we will open the domain controller or power on the virtual machine. Okay, and then we will log in. And then, as you know, in my previous video I have changed the first name and the last name for the users that have identical first name and last name. So we have 50 users, all of them have first name and last name the same. So I have changed these 50 users, give them different first name and last names. Okay, so this was in an Excel sheet or in a CSV file. We all know that the Powershell script to be applied, it goes and reads the Active Directory objects, their names and their locations from a CSV file. So the Powershell script goes to a certain CSV file, it reads from this file what Active Directory objects you need to create, for example users, computers, organization units, and what are their location. Okay, and then it begin, after reading the location and the name, it begin apply or begin creating them one by one. So I have changed the CSV file for the users, or the Excel sheet that contain the users of the Active Directory. Okay, I have changed them, okay, or changed the conflicting users that have the same first name and last name, and I need to copy it, okay, from my laptop and put it again to my virtual machine. So this is my laptop. I am copying this fixed or this editable CSV file after changing the first name and last name of the users, and then put it on my virtual machine. Okay, so I am replacing this file by this file. This is from my laptop. So here we can see something. I need to get you a little bit here further. If we see something here we can see that there is a menu for PowerShell 7. So this is also, if you need to open a command prompt for PowerShell 7, you can do this from this context menu. Okay, so this is another option. When you install PowerShell 7, you tell him to put a context or context menu. When you right click anything, this menu will appear. Okay, so this is also a good thing to say or to be notified about. So now we will open a PowerShell 7 prompt. So this is the scripts, and they will open a PowerShell prompt, run as administrator, PowerShell 7, and then we will begin creating the first, or we begin creating first the organizational units. So here we can see that the PowerShell, it is or the directory that the PowerShell opened on, it is C Windows System 32. So we need to change, or to tell the PowerShell to go to a certain directory. This directory, it is the directory that contains our scripts. So we'll tell him change directory, or change the folder that you are sitting, or that you are pointing to, change it to another location, which is COVID-19, or this location. So this is the location that contain my scripts. I'm telling him to change directory, to change your destination folder that you are pointing to now, and go to this folder. Okay, and then I will begin applying my script. So here we can see that all of these are script lines, or scripts that will create different Active Directory objects. And it's simply, as I said before, you tell him to read a certain Excel file or CSV file that contains the objects in the Active Directory that you need to create, their name and their location, and then after reading them, the PowerShell will begin creating them one by one. So this location, it is changed from one lab to another. So Transformers was an old lab, so this was the location of the scripts in the Transformers lab. So this is COVID-19 lab. I just need to change the location of the folders to scripts. It's not in this location anymore. I will change it to COVID-19 DC domain. So this is changed. I need to change this line in all of the PowerShell scripts line. So all of the PowerShell scripts will read from a certain file or CSV file and create the objects inserted or written in this CSV file. These objects could be users, computers, whatsoever, and their location. So all of these CSV files are in a certain location, which is folder called scripts, but it's not Transformers. This is for the previous video or previous labs, so it is COVID-19. So we will change them. We have done this in the previous video, but we all know that I have retrieved my snapshot, so all of the changes that I have made was reflected, or it was undo. Okay, so here I will change this. Okay, this Transformers DC domains, so and so. This is the location that I need to put or to insert. Okay, then replace all. So here you go, and we need to get, or we save, and then we need to get off this dash because this is not included in the script. Okay, and now we can save the text file and then begin creating one by one. This is the first line. This line will create the organizational units. Okay, and then enter. Okay, now it's creating the PowerShell, or sorry, it's retrieving, or it is applying the command. Now it's finished because we are setting on the scripts folder. So if we open the console, our custom console, and open the Active Directory console, we will see that we have our organizational units created. Okay, and now I will go and create my Active Directory users, and we will see if we have, or we will encounter the same error that we have encountered in the previous video. So now we can see here patient 0, and then we can see the different organizational units created: brain, heart, kidney, liver, lungs, and all of the sub organizational units. Okay, so all of these are created. So the first step in creating your Active Directory, you need to create the organizational units. This is the first and important step, because all of your Active Directory upcoming objects will be inserted in these locations. Okay, so you need to first to create the organizational units, and then the second step is to create the users, and then create the groups, and then insert the users in the groups that you have created, or what we call group membership, and then you can create the computers, and then you can create the servers. Okay, so here we will open this PowerShell module. This, when we implement it, it will create about 4,500 users maybe, or 4,025 users. Okay, so this is a lot of users to be created at once. So this is one of the benefits of using PowerShell script or PowerShell scripts. Here I will take a snapshot. So here I tell him before creating Active Directory users, so if the error appeared again, I can return back and do it back, or return my snapshot and begin creating the users again. Okay, so here we can see that it's calling saving state. As I said before, if you are taking a snapshot, do not use the machine or the virtual machine until the snapshot is taken. Here you can see that this PowerShell script for creating users, this is done by Jonathan Johnson, and this is from GitHub, and this is the location, and I have tweaked this, or I have changed this script and added some few lines and some few entries. Okay, but this is basically for this user in GitHub, and this is the location of his script or original script. So here we can see that it's saving state, it's 90%, and now 70 or 97, 98, and then 99, and then 100. Okay, and then we can now begin implementing the script. It's paused already. No, it's not paused. So now we will full screen. This is the icon to full screen the view of the virtual machine, and then we need to take care to tell him to or change the location of the CSV file that contains the users. So in this script, the same as we have said before, that the PowerShell script goes to a certain CSV file or Excel sheet that contain the name of the users, the information about the users, and where is the location these users will be created in. So all of these, you need this line in the PowerShell script. You are telling him to go to this location, and this is the CSV file that contains the users and their information and their location. Okay, so after implementing the script, he will read all of the needed data from this CSV file. Okay, so now we can begin applying the script, and it will take a little bit of time because there are 4,000 users. So I can go little or I can go quickly, show you all, because it will take about 10 minutes or something. So all of these, we can see that he's creating it without any error, and every user created, he gives you a notification that he is created or has been added to the domain. Okay, and all of these are coming, so we can begin, or this is all, and we can continue. And at the end, if you have some okay, now all of the users are created, okay, without any errors. Okay, so now we will go to the second step and create the groups. Okay, so we have created the organizational units, now we will create the groups. So here now we will go again, and this is the administrator account or the domain admin account. And here now we will go to the second line, or this line, it will create the groups or the Active Directory security groups. Okay, and every group, when it is created, it gives you a notification by green line or a green line saying to you that this group is created. So we'll tell him, or we'll paste this script and then press enter. Here you can see that he's giving you this group is created, so he's giving you a notification of successful creation of the groups, or every group it is created, and we give a notification by green that it is created. Okay, green line says the name of the group and it is already created. Okay, so now we have the groups, and then we will have this line that will insert certain users in certain groups. Okay, so this is called, or this is a script to insert users in groups, or what we call group membership, or the groups membership. Okay, or groups member, or group users membership. Okay, so you can press enter, and then it will take a little bit of time because we have, as I said before, we have a lot of users, about 4,000 users, so they are distributed in different groups. So we can get it a little bit more quicker here. Again, so here you can get a little bit here closer. So now we will pause the video. Okay, now it is created, and another step is to create the computers. Okay, so here we can go and get here again. So this is a line to create the computers. Okay, this is another line. So we have created the users, the groups, and put users in groups. Okay, and then we create the computers. Okay, the computers and the servers, all of this in one line. Okay, and then we have another script which is called Workstation Logins. What I mean by this, I mean that I will control that certain users to access certain computers. So here in this CSV file or Excel sheet, I am telling him that I need certain users to access certain computers in my Active Directory. So not all users are able to access all of the computers in the domain. So for example, if I have the accounting team has PC, or the accounting PCs for the accounting team, I will restrict that only the accounting or the Active Directory users for the accounting to access the PCs of the accounting. So if any user for another department, for example HR, will not be able to access the accounting PCs in my domain. So I am restricting certain users to access certain computers, and this it is said, or it is written in this CSV file. So I am telling him the user and the PC that I need this user to access. Okay, so this is good if you need to restrict certain users to access certain computers. Okay, so now we will do this also, and then I'm changing the location because here I'm telling him to read this file, and this file, this location, or its location here is not correct. So now we have the correct location, and then save, and then we will apply this script, and after that we will check all of our, or the result of all of our scripts one by one, but after this line is implemented. So press enter. Okay, now all of this is created. Now we can go to our Active Directory users and computers console and check what all of these scripts have done. So we can see the organizational units, we can see the users, we can see the groups and the membership of the groups. So here for example we can see that there is certain groups created, and these are the users created. Okay, and every organizational unit here we can see this is a group, and this is the membership of the group. Okay, so our script, it is applied successfully. So this is the groups, and this it contains users as members of this group. So it is done successfully. And now we can go to the Neuralink. This is, or this, we can see that these users, this I will consider them to be the controllers or the domain admins or the administrators of this domain. Okay, so we will know later what we will do with these users, but these are the controllers of the domain as a whole. I will give them full control on the domain and all of its components. Okay, so this is it. We can see that this is Bill Gates and Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. All of these are famous persons, and myself. Okay, and some artificial intelligent users. Okay, I have discussed this in the introduction video. So these are all users. Okay, I need to do something. I need these users to have full control over the domain. So this is until this moment, or until this time, these are normal users. They don't have any control over the domain. So to give them full control of the domain, on the domain and all of its components, we need to do some steps, or certain steps. I will discuss this now, but give me a moment. Here you can see that nerve cells, these are the computers. Okay, we have discussed before that nerve cells are considered computers in our scenario. So this is the computers, and also we'll have servers. Okay, so we have computers and servers. So we can see that all of them are created. So our scripts are applied successfully. So what you will do now, we need to make certain users, or for example Bill Gates and Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and myself. I need all of these users. I need this group, which is PT Neuralink. This group contains these 4 users. I need this group to have, or to be or to control the domain as a whole. Okay, on all of its components. So how we will do this? Check with me, or wait for a moment, I will discuss this. Okay, so what we will do, we will make this group a member of some Active Directory built-in groups. So when you create your Active Directory, there is some Active Directory groups created by default. Okay, so what we will do, we will take this Active Directory group and make it a member of some of the most important built-in by default Active Directory groups. So by doing this, this group will have full control over the domain. So what are these built-in Active Directory groups that we need to make this group a member of it? I will tell you now, so wait for a moment. So if you can go a little bit further, I will show you all. So here it's built in. So here we can see that not the built-in, also here we can see the administrators group. This is a very important group. I will show you all something here. So let's go there. Here we go again. Sorry guys, let's go here. So we'll go to the users. Okay, this is a folder in the Active Directory. Again, users. Okay, and then we have three important Active Directory built-in groups. Something called domain admins, enterprise admins, schema admins. So if you make your group of IT, so we have a group in the Active Directory for the IT. If you make this group a member of the domain admins, enterprise admins, and schema admins, by doing this you give the IT group full control over the domain. So this group can do anything. Okay, anything, I mean anything. It can do anything to the Active Directory, it can do anything to the DNS, it can do anything to the DHCP. It can, or will have full control over the domain and all of its components. So we will add my PT0 Neuralink, which I consider them to be as an IT group. They will be member of the domain admins, enterprise admins, and schema admins. And by the way, the domain admins and enterprise admins are by default a member of another built-in group which is called administrators. Okay, administrators, it is a group on this server that gives it full control over the server itself. So you will have full control over the Active Directory, and also will have full control over the server itself, or over the components of the server itself, or the windows on the server itself, locally, I mean. So you can control the domain, or you will control the domain, and you will control the windows, or internally, or the windows on this server. Okay, so we'll do this now. So here I need to show you a little bit of a graph here. So let me show you all something here. This is a little bit of a graph, so we can go there and show you all what I mean by this. So let's go slideshow, and then I will begin here. So here we can see that this is our domain, but it's not startrek.local, it is patient0.internal. And then we have when you install the Active Directory, we have three Active Directory built-in groups. They are created by default when you install the Active Directory. One of them is the domain admins, and then the enterprise admins and the schema admins. Here we will have the IT group, or here we can consider it patient 0 or patient 0 Neuralink. This is considered as an IT group, so we'll make our IT group a member from these three most important Active Directory groups. So by doing this, we can control the domain as a whole, and also control the server, or so we can control the domain and control the domain controller and control all of the PCs in our domain. So how can this be done? I will show you also a little bit of a graph. This is a computer. When you install Windows on it, there is a group created, or a local group created on this machine when you install Windows, something called local administrators group. So if you create a user, and this user on this machine is a member of local administrators group, this user can do anything to the machine. Okay, so this is locally, this machine is not now, or it's not joined a domain. So if you have a Windows installed on this machine and you have created a user or a local user, and this user is a member of the local administrators group, this user can do anything to the machine. Okay, so this is first. What if we have joined this PC to the domain? Okay, and then this domain, we can see that we have something called domain admins. Okay, we have put my IT group from a couple of seconds to be a member of this group. Okay, so take a look. This group, what you will do, by default the domain admins will be a member of every local administrator group on every machine in the domain. So by this, any member of this group will be a local administrator on every machine in the domain, so he can do anything to this machine. So this is why the domain admin have full control over the domain and all of the PCs in the domain. So the domain admins will be a member of the local administrators group on every machine. Okay, so by this it gives it full control over the machine. So the domain admins will control the domain and all of its components, and it will control the workstations and all of its components locally. Okay, so this is it. Let's now see how we can do this. Let me get out of it. Okay, so now go here and let's begin or continuing our scenario. So here we will add PT Neuralink. Okay, this is the group that I will consider it to be as an IT group. We will add it to domain admins. Okay, and then we will add the enterprise admins. Okay, we'll add the same group. Okay, this is the group PT0 Neuralink. This is the group that contains the IT. Okay, and then we have the schema admins. And then we need to add the schema admins, or add the IT group to the schema admins, and by default the domain admins and the enterprise admins are a member of the local administrators groups on this server. So by this they have full control over the domain controller as well. Okay, so now we have full control over the domain, and then I will use my user. So I will disable the administrator account and use my Karim Raouf user as a domain admin to log into the domain controller. So now if you go to the built-in group, the administrators, here we can see that the members, the domain admins and enterprise admins. So the IT group is a member of these two groups, so this apply or this imply that they are members of the administrators group, so they can control the or you can log into the server locally and change everything, or have full control over the server locally and through the domain as well. Okay, you can see that all of the groups are created. Here is my user. I need to reset the password because I will log in with this user. So I log in with this user the next time, because I will disable the administrator account. As we have said before, why we need to disable this account and rename this account and give it a strong password. I've discussed this in the previous videos. So here we can see that my user will be K Raouf. You can see all of the users. We can see the computers. Vaccines, we can see the users, Johnson and Johnson. Okay, this is the vaccine and this is considered the user. So we can see that all of our scripts have been applied successfully. So now we'll go to another step. What is it? Is the folder called backgrounds. What is, just a moment guys, just a moment. So something here, I need to share this folders, a folder called backgrounds. What is this folder and what does it contains? I will tell you all for a moment, just a moment here. So what is the folder of backgrounds? A folder of backgrounds, this is a folder that will contain an image, okay, that I will use it through a group policy to be the default background for all of the PCs in the domain. So this folder contains an image that I will use or I will put it, or I will use it in conjunction or with a group policy to tell the Active Directory to apply a certain background to all of the PCs in the domain. Okay, so for this background to be applied to all of the PCs in the domain using a group policy, the users should be able to access this folder, and for the users to be able to access this folder should be shared. Okay, it is something like a Facebook post. If for example you need some users to see your post, you need to share the post. So for the users to go and apply a certain background to their computers, okay, they need to be able to access the folder that contains this image. So we will share it and we will give the Active Directory users in our domain access to this folder so they can apply the image that, or the unified image that we will we need it to be applied to their PCs. I can show you a little bit of a graph here that will explain that. So here let's go and see this one. So the slideshow. Okay, first of all I need to discuss something. So as we said here, let's go here. As we said before, this folder will contain an image that will be applied to all of the PCs in our domain as a unified background. But another thing, this folder will contain other files, okay, that I will use, okay, to do certain things to the users that will access the PC or will access the domain for the first time. Something called Active Directory login script. What is an Active Directory login script? Let me show you all the components of this login script. So let's wait for a moment, just a moment here, because I need to make sure that all of these are working. Anyway, so here you go. We will go and let me close this one. So here we will go to the script. So here we can see that, just a moment. So here where is the DC domain, and then we will have this the login script. So sorry, the computer is a little bit slow. So here we will edit So let's continue, guys. Here we can see, just a moment. So this is a script that will be applied to any user that access any PC on the domain with his Active Directory username for the first time. What this script will do, it will do certain things. First of all, what it will do, it will first make this icon, this PC appears on the desktop of the user. So by default this icon doesn't appear. So I am telling him in this script to make this icon appear on the desktop of the user when he logs in for the first time. And not only this, and to change this PC text under this icon, we will change it from this PC to another thing. So properties, the computer is a little bit slow anyway, so so you can see, guys, that we will change this text called this PC and we'll put the computer name instead of this PC. Okay, just a moment. So the script, it will make this PC icon appears on the desktop, and it will change the text this PC to reflect the computer name. Okay, this is the first line of the script. Okay, or this is the 3 lines. It will make this PC icon appears, and it will change the text of this PC to reflect the computer name. And then we can see here that the folder of backgrounds, the one that we will share right now, the script is going to this folder as it will run certain registry keys or certain files. So the folder of backgrounds, it will not only be a folder that will contain an image that will be the unified background for all of the PCs in the domain, but it will contain some registry keys that this script will go and run to apply certain changes or certain things to the user. So for example, when the user log in for the first time, the language bar or the keyboard will be installed English and Arabic keyboard layout. So this is the first thing the user will see, and then it will hide the Cortana search bar, and it will change the time zone to be Cairo time zone, and it will make some performance setting or change some performance setting to make the PC much faster. And at the end it will run a certain program. It will be in a certain location. This program is called idle logoff. This idle logoff, it is a program to log off the machine after idle activity. So if you leave your PC without activity for 3000 seconds, it will log off the machine completely. Okay, so this is a script. This script, a part of it, it will go to the backgrounds folder, the one that we'll share right now. So it will apply certain registry keys. So if we have, or let's see a full view, or let's have a certain view here. If we go and apply this, we have this script. This is the script. Okay, my computer.bat. This script, it will go, as I said before, it will run, or these are the 4 lines. It will go to a certain folder, the backgrounds. It will contain the certain registry keys that I have saying now, or the one that I have saying now. So this folder contains the background image, and it contains the registry keys. Okay, So the background will be applied using a group policy, and the registry keys, the script will go to this folder and run this registry keys. Okay, so my computer.bat, where is this script will be located? It will be located in net login folder. There is a folder in C Windows Sysvol scripts, or the share name of the folder of scripts is net login. This my computer.bat will be added to this folder. Okay, to this folder. Okay, so what we will do, we need to apply this login script to all of the Active Directory users in the domain. So first thing we need to do is to share the background folder. Okay, first of all, this we will do, and by sharing it we can make the users able to apply the background that I am telling you, and they can read the registry keys and apply them. So the users, or for the script to be applied and for the registry keys to be applied, the users should be or should have access, okay, to these registry keys, and they can run them. Okay, so we need first to have the background folder shared. Okay, and then we will copy my computer.bat and put it in this folder. Okay, this is it. Okay, and then we will go to every user in the domain, and in the login script field we'll tell him my computer.bat. So Active Directory knows that my computer.bat, it is in the net login folder, so you need to put this script in this folder. Okay, after sharing this folder before. Okay, so we'll share the background folder, and then we will copy the my computer.bat login script and put it in this folder, and then we will select all of our users in the Active Directory domain and tell them in the login script field that my computer.bat is the name of the script that I need the Active Directory to apply to the users. Okay, another thing or another way, here is the login script, Active Directory user properties. Okay, and then this is the script, and then Active Directory user should have rights on this folder to run the my computer.bat. So the net login folder, or the shared folder that my computer.bat will be put in, the user should be able to go and access this folder to run the script. Okay, and another thing, the users, so this folder, the users of the Active Directory should have access to it, so they can run the script. At least they should access it to have at least the run or the read permission or the execute permission to execute the script. Okay, so shared by default, so this folder is shared by default, but it is hidden. Okay, these folders, and by the way also the user should be able to access this folder, because part of the script, okay, there is some registry keys that are in a certain folder, so the users in the Active Directory should also have access not only to the folder that contains the script, but to the folder that contains the registry keys that the script will run. Okay, so should be shared so Active Directory users can reach it. Active Directory user should have access rights on background folder to be able to see the registry keys so the computer.bat can run them. Okay, so for the users to apply a certain background, they should be able to access the image that will be their unified background, and to access it, the folder in it should be shared, something like the post of the Facebook. So this is basically what we will do. So let's continue and see how this will be done. So here we will share the folder permissions, and then we will add all of the users in the domain to have access to this folder. So there is a group called domain users. This is a default Active Directory group, built-in group. This group is created when you install the Active Directory. The Active Directory by default put all of your users in the Active Directory to be a member of the domain users. So if you need to apply a certain group policy to all of your users in your domain, you can apply it to the group that is called domain users, because by default the Active Directory put all of your users in the Active Directory in this default built-in Active Directory group. So here I'm telling him to give the IT full control over the folder. Okay, this is the SMB share permission. Okay, and we'll domain users, and also I have another group in my Active Directory called PT0 all body. This is also a group like the domain users, contains all of my Active Directory users in this group. Okay, so now we will give the domain users read permission and my IT full control. Okay, so now this is the SMB share permissions, and here we will have the NTFS share permissions. Okay, so here now we will have two kind of permissions. Okay, a link. Okay, and we will add, and it is better to have two permissions to make it more convenient. Okay, because it's something like having a safe with two keys. So if you have two kind of permissions, this will be more safer. Okay, so here we can see that Neuralink, we will give them full control, and domain users, they will have read and execute permission. Okay, so this is the one that we need. We will go and change the SMB share permissions. Here we go, and then we will add, or we will change the permission. Okay, and then we will add or give them full control, and then I have a group that is called PT0 underscore all body. This is a group in my Active Directory that contains all of my users in the domain, the same as domain users. So here we'll have PT0 all body. So this is the group. Okay, this is all of the users in my domain are member of this group. So you can use this group to apply a certain group policy to all of your users. Okay, it is a container that contains all of the users in the domain, domain users or PT0 all body. Okay, so here we have all of these. Just a moment. So now let's begin. Now we will use this group also. We'll go there. Okay, and have advanced sharing, or we will share this folder, and we'll put PT0 all body. This is a group that contains all of my users in the domain, the same as domain users. So we can check name all body. Okay, and we give it read permission, and then we will go and give it NTFS share permission also as read. And then we need to get the Active Directory login script mycomputer.bat and put it in the net login folder. Okay, or the shared folder net login, and then we need to tell the Active Directory to use this script to apply it to all of the users in the Active Directory. Okay, how will we do this? We will select all of the users in the Active Directory and tell them in the login script, or in the field of login script, we'll tell it the name of the login script, okay, that we need it to be applied. So here we tell him run first, and then we will go to the folder of net login. Okay, it is shared. By the way, net login, it is C Windows sysvol scripts folder. Okay, so here we will go to the net login folder. Okay, here you go, this is the net login folder. So by doing this, we are telling the Active Directory to apply this login script to all of the users in the domain. So here, let me go a little bit further. So we'll have the net login, open the net login, and put the computer script here. Okay, and now remember the idle log of program. Okay, I will take a copy of it and go to my C drive and make a folder called idle logoff and put the program in it, because the script will go to this location and run the program. Okay, so this is another thing to note. Okay, so here we will put the idle logoff program in the folder, so the script will work perfectly, and put here and there. Okay, so now we need to select all of the users in the domain and tell them that I need to apply a certain script on you. Okay, and by the way, when you tell and you put in the login script field in the Active Directory the name of the script, the Active Directory knows the location of the script, so it knows it will go to net login, and get the script from there. So you don't need to apply the location, or need them not to tell him the location of the script. He knows. Okay, so here we will select, or we will check every users in the domain. Okay, and click their properties. I will show you all how this is done. So for example, if we go here again, so again here, for example, if we go to for example a group of users, so here we'll select them all. Okay, like this, Control A, and then properties, and then in the profile tab here we will tell him select, and we will type the name of the script. Okay, so here we'll go and put the script name. So here we'll put the script name. Okay, so by doing this we have tell all of the users that use this mycomputer.bat, or all of these users will use mycomputer.bat as an Active Directory login script. Okay, and we need to check every group of users. So here, for example, also we will connect them, or we will have them all. Just a moment, guys. So let's continue, guys. Here we'll begin selecting multiple users, and click and get their properties, and get the profile tab. Okay, and then select the login script and add mycomputer.bat. We'll do this for all of the users in the domain, so I will not bother you all with the details. So here we go first. So again, so here we have made all of the users. So we have done this all. We have done this. We have selected all of the users and add mycomputer.bat in the login script field. Now we'll begin installing a couple of programs. So I need to install the Firefox, I need to install the Google Chrome, I need to install the Classic Shell, because all of these programs we will have, or we will apply some group policy to them. Okay, so here we will have, or you install the Google Chrome. Okay, I think I have the Classic Shell also in one of the sources I have from my laptop. So here, this is the Google Chrome, because as I said before, we will make, or we will configure some group policies to be applied to the Google Chrome, the Firefox, the Microsoft Edge. So we need to have all of them installed on this domain controller, so we can see the effect of the group policies on it. So we will have AD collections, and then I have something called sources. Okay, or this is all sources that I have. Okay, so I have the Classic Shell .msi file, and by the way, if you need to have a program, and this program you need it to be deployed to a large number of PCs in your domain, so you need to have the extension of this executable program to be .msi, because .msi, it's much easier to deploy it in a domain or in to a large number of PCs than to deploy .exe extension file. Okay, so we have all of our executable files, or all of our programs will be .msi extension. So we have Classic Shell.msi, Firefox.msi, Google Chrome.msi, VLC.msi, and we'll show you all how we can use this .msi through a group policy to deploy it. Or for example, we have Chrome.msi. We'll make a group policy to apply the Chrome.msi program, or the Chrome program, to a lot of PCs once, and we'll show you all how to do this using group policy and something called PDQ software. So we'll do this. So I think we can just run it more quickly here. So we will go there, and then here is the Google Chrome. It is already installed, and now we'll begin installing the Classic Shell. So this is the second one. and after installing the classic shell, the Google Chrome and the Firefox will restart the server and apply the login script to see if the login script will be applied to my username, and we will see the changes that will be done to my username. Anyway, we will install, and then we will go, and just a moment, you will get the Firefox. Just a moment here. So you will get the Firefox. So I will get the latest Firefox, okay, but I need it as an MSI file. So I will go and tell him Firefox MSI download, okay, because I will deploy it to a large number of PCs. So I will use this program in this extension. So here we can see that deploy Firefox with MSI installers. So we can deploy Firefox to a large number of PCs using an executable file, okay, .msi, okay. So here I think we don't need to VLC group policy anyway. So here we will go to the website of Firefox here, and we download the executable file .msi for 64-bit version. So anyway, we will have, okay, this is the Firefox. We'll tell him we need the 64-bit version but MSI file, okay. Here download this, to download the .exe file, but this is the one that I don't need. So here we can see that this is exe file. We need .msi file. Both can be run and executed, okay, but .exe, this is one that I don't need. I needed .msi file so I can deploy it to a large number of PCs. So here we will cancel it and then tell him 64-bit version, okay, but MSI and US, okay. So here the 64 MSI, and then tell him to download. Anyway, here it will it's a little bit slower, so I will copy the link and download it through the Internet Download Manager. So here I will copy the link, so yeah, I will copy this link, okay, because it takes 5 hours, so I can download it much faster using an Internet Download Manager or a Download Manager program. So here I will copy the link and then I will put it in my Internet Download Manager, okay, and then I will download it. Start. It's 54 megabyte. So we have the latest Firefox program, so we can deploy on it, or you can deploy it and we can configure different group policies to our latest Firefox version, okay. So here we can see that the classic shell, it is working, okay. Here we can see it, and the Google Chrome is installed. We need only to install the Firefox, and then we will restart the machine and see the Active Directory login script to be applied to my user. But anyway, now it is restarting, and still here they are you can see here it's much faster, okay. So I am downloading the executable file for the Firefox. So here we can see that now we have, again, just a moment, so here again, here we have already gone again to the Windows, okay, and then, but something here to take a note. Here I am logged in with as administrator, and administrator I didn't put in this is a local user, it's not an Active Directory user, so the login script will not be applied to this user. So I need to go out, so I need to log in out, okay. So you can go there, okay, and again I will log in. So take care. Now I will log in, but not as administrator because this is a local user. Here we will log in as Karim, so we can see the login script to be applied. Okay, so take care. Now we will see, here is the login script. It is applied in this command prompt window, and the registry keys, okay, are being applied. They ask me to apply the registry keys. Okay, will apply. Don't worry, this notification will disappear after we apply a certain group policy. Here we can see that this is this PC icon, and it was changed. This PC text was removed, okay, and the domain controller name is added instead of it. Okay, and we will see that the time wasn't changed to Cairo time zone, and Cortana, here we see it is disappeared. I have Cortana before was appearing, it was hidden, and the time is still not changed, and English and Arabic keyboard layout wasn't applied. But if we make another restart, we can see that the script will be applied again, and the keyboard and the time will be changed. Here I am going to the administrator files because I have the console. You remember that I have the console or custom console on my desktop, so I can access C, then administrator, then desktop of the administrator, and get the console on my Karim user. Okay, so here we will do this. Okay, and here we can see I will make a restart again. So I make a restart, and then I log in again. So if you wait for a second, now we can see that the time was changed. It is 7:41 p.m. It is the 3rd of May. Okay, when I have recorded this video, and we see the English and Arabic keyboard layout, it is installed. So we have all of our script applied. Okay, so we can see that the time zone is changed, the icon of desktop is had appeared, and it was changed, and a lot of changes has been done. Just a moment. So let's continue now. We can see that all of the script, it is applied. Okay, and now I have already finished downloading the file of all the Firefox. So here we can see that this is the Firefox 8.7. this is the latest one, and it's .msi. So we will install it, and by this we will finish our video, and the upcoming video will begin configuring different group policies. But before that, after installing all of these applications and doing all of these changes, we will take a snapshot. Okay, so remember always to take snapshots before making critical changes to your system, or after making critical changes to your system, and successful changes, I mean. Okay, so here the Firefox, it is being installed. Okay, so it'll take a little bit of time. Okay, and then it is installed already. We need to take a snapshot before Active Directory. So here we're telling it is before active or group policy, because we will install a lot of group policies. Okay, take a snapshot, and then we will see it will take about a couple of time until it is changed. Okay, 97%, and then 98, and then 99, and then 100. So in the upcoming we will begin configuring the different group policies. So we have successfully applied our Active Directory login script. We have applied created all of our Active Directory users, groups, computers. All of these are done using PowerShell scripts in our new PowerShell 7 environment. So we right click here and tell him to shut down. So this is it. Hope this video is informative for you all. and would like to thank you all for viewing. Until the upcoming video, see you all. Thank you so much.